a little screwy. So people who have safety or security needs tend to have first chakra issues because they didn't have that safety growing up. Like Jeanette. Remember Jeanette, how she used to talk about her mom and her childhood? That's a typical first chakra issue. I don't know anything physical in her body. She may or may not have anything physical manifested yet. Remember, spiritual, emotional, mental, and then physical. When it reaches the physical, you're fucked. You've been told, you've been knocked the door, you've been shown by everyone, and you've ignored it and ignored it and ignored it. When it reaches the physical realm, it's already gone through all of these energetic channels. It's now reached the physical because it's going to hurt and because you're going to need to sit down, live in the present. Oh, fuck, I have cancer and I better do something about it. And now nothing else matters. Right? Because you think you want to save your life, although that's not always true. Sometimes the only solution for a person is to die. And that's okay. That's not a judgment. But it's either going to be you're going to stop and die, that's being in the present, or you're going to stop and take care of yourself and say fuck to everybody else. That's why it's usually the last thing. But when you hear a client talk about safety or security needs that were not met, you know there's a first chakra issue. These people are constantly in fight or flight. What part of the brain? Going back months.
Reptilian.
My little brain. The reptilian brain. What usually is affected with the reptilian brain? What are the major aspects? What's the function of that brain? Survival. So they're in a constant survival mode. That's why they have winged sandals. That's why they have red shoes. I gotta kill you before you kill me. Basic animal instinct, people. People that have first chakra issues, safety, security needs, are fighting for their life always. They're sleeping with one eye open. Typical conception story. Mom wanted an abortion. My aunt said, no, let's have the baby. You know that's a first chakra shit. They're not going to even be born. They got to fight for their life to even make it. Okay? That type of story. So when you hear that they were not going to be born, or they had to flee a country, and they might have not made it out alive, or their parents come from the Holocaust, these people are going to have first chakra shit. Yes?
What if my mom had me when she was a lot older, like in her 40s?
Okay, did she have a fear that being old would have you die?
Yeah, well, I mean, they
Or come out with a problem?
come out with a problem, and then I remember her telling me that everybody was constantly telling her like she shouldn't have it because of her age. So I'm just wondering if that's the same.
That can absolutely be. And it's interesting that what do you do? What do you do for a living? You're a soldier.
Oh, yeah.
Pisces aren't soldiers. We're fake soldiers. We're fake soldiers. We're pussies. We are fake soldiers, just like me. The warrior has become worthless. Rip that mask. But you go into the military and become a warrior, a soldier, to save lives, a nurse no less, that's the Pisces part, because of course, you've been fighting for your life since you were conceived. What are the 4 things that form the subconscious mind? People, come on now.
Conception. No. Are you talking about that?
Yeah, you're right.
Oh,
yeah,
yes,
conception,
Conception, pregnancy,
Yeah.
birth, and 0 to 7.
Thank you. gonna stick my model up your noses no matter what. They gave me a platform, I'm here. These are the 4 levels that form the subconscious. So if your mother was at conception, oh fuck, I'm 40. What's the first thought you think of? A lot of women, most pregnancies in this country are unplanned. Oh fuck, I gotta get rid of them. So most people are dealing with first chakra issues because the first thought the mother had was, oh fuck, I gotta abort this thing. So if your mother's 40 something and she's like, oh shit, he could be sick, or people are telling her, that's more of the pregnancy. What happened during those 9 months? She was stressed, she had an amniocentesis, her family said, you're crazy, he's gonna come out with a problem, blah, 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 blah. That, of course, is going to inform that you must be a first chakra issue person. You have to have safety and security needs. You must. And he did not accidentally choose his profession. No accident. And Pisces, we are peacemakers. We are not warriors. We don't go and fight. We say, okay. I mean,
really, no, honestly.
no, I know. Because I've been pretending to be an Aries my whole fucking life. Which is first chakra. This is an Aries sign. Aries is the warrior. I'm a fucking Pisces. Like, and interestingly enough, this rules part of the feet. And Pisces rules the feet. That's why I said that. I didn't know if I had put that together. But go ahead, sorry.
Well, no, because I'm literally the peacemaker in any type of situation.
Of course
especially
you are.
in the middle of a club, it would be like, yo, hey,
Of course.
what are we doing?
Yeah, of course.
No, we wouldn't be doing
Because
this.
we're
It's
Pisces.
hilarious.
That's our job. Do you remember in the astrology wheel what I said when I went through the story about the 12th house? These are my 12 pieces. I can't. This is union. This is hold. This is coming full circle. We want unity. We want love. We want peace. We want to go back home to the heavens with our Father.
Or mother.
Yes, Cosmic Mother. You missed that class. Yes, Cosmic Mother or Heavenly Father. Absolutely. So, you see, he just told me everything I need to know about himself. He is a 4th chakra person. Never saw you 4th chakra know your whole life because of that one comment. Or mother.
Can there be...
Did everyone see that thread? Did everyone hear that chakra?
Wasn't a threat.
It was a total thread. Did you all see the box? Or mother, 4th chakra, connection means right there. Beautiful, perfect.
Can
Go ahead.
there be someone who has more of...
Hell yeah, all 7.
Because, like, no, but I have 2 people. Like, my brother, who my mom has him, like, in a little box, and she saves them all the time. And I know he will not be able to make it in the world when she dies, which is why I have a lot of talks with him.
That's more protection.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So,
That's
and
more
then
of a protection
I have
need.
another friend who's almost 40, and he still lives with his dad, and he works at La Carreta as a dishwasher. Because he can't, like, I don't know if he's mentally retarded, but he just, I don't know, he doesn't have, like, this spirit to want to move forward or...
Okay, that's a 1st chakra issue.
Okay,
Listen to the words.
yeah.
Now, you want the client to tell their story. Do not put words in the client's mouth. I'm just picking on her word because she's the one speaking. But in your session, your client is telling you, or mother, his words.
Could be a hybrid, I don't know.
Okay? Or a hybrid.
Yeah, his mom, like, I guess protected him so much, and she passed away. And after that, his dad, like, talks to me all the time. He's like, help him get. I'm like, I can't do much for him. I can help him by getting a better job, I guess, but he won't do it. He doesn't want to do it. He wants to lay in bed and he's okay being a dishwasher. So.
Okay, there's judgment in what you're speaking, so if your client was here, you'd have to check your judgments about that. That is a first chakra speaking. That's very much a second chakra speaking. Because safety and security is one thing. Am I going to survive? Second chakra has to do with money, with sex, with creation, with possessions, protection. You can be alive. James made it. But if right now, and we're happy you did.
Some of us.
What chakra did she just speak from? That was her Mercury, like, her Scorpio just came out. What did you have on your wheel the other day?
I'm an Aries. I have.
You're an Aries sun, but what did you have on your wheel? What house? What numbers did I tell you? Because your Scorpio just spoke. We
I have
speak
1, 4,
all
and
the time.
12.
One
So
what?
Aries, Cancer, and Pisces.
1, 4, and 12. Okay, well you got a little magician in there somewhere. She was like, some of us, and that's okay. We all have everything everywhere somewhere. Okay? So, but that was just cute. And we know that you're just kidding. We think. We hope. So James survived.
Truth there.
Now, what if James survived, his mother had him, and maybe she died, maybe he was left for abandoned. What if he was left on a doorstep and the rain came down? Let's say right now I don't know if that's what they do, but you get fired. I don't think you get fired from the military, I guess. If you got fired
Well,
from your job.
you just get relocated to another person's problem.
Okay. So,
That's all you do. They just relocate you and a new chance to start fresh. That's exactly what they're telling you.
so, and that's interesting that you say that. Do I have my Shiva?
AKA
Oh, damn, I don't
expendable.
have my Shiva. Okay.
That's a good one. That movie?
Which movie?
Expendable.
No, what's it called?
Expendables.
Expendables.
Okay, well Shiva is here laying on the ground. This is not the way I want you to see Shiva. The Shiva I have in my house is magnificent. Okay, there he's lying down. But it's interesting that he said a new way to start fresh. Do you remember when I told you about how we destroy and we create?
Yeah, the 7 gates.
There are people that traumatized. I am fucking with your ass head so bad. You're gonna need psychology after the psychology class. Okay. Do you remember the destruction and the creation? We destroy, we create. We must destroy. So we have Divine Mother, Kali here, and Shiva, her consort. Okay, so they rule creation and destruction. That is second chakra. You must destroy to create. What happens in a session? So I used to, a big part of my job, I told you before, was to channel a lot with the Akashic Records. So Shiva, in his form, understand, we know now, right? These are just mythological creatures. Shiva shows up and says to me, to tell this client, she was afraid to have children, that the most balanced act is pregnancy.
Balance?
The most balanced, masculine and feminine, is pregnancy. Can someone tell me why?
Because they're meeting in the middle because of the sperm and the egg. No.
Okay, the egg and the sperm part is absolutely accurate. But pregnancy, that's conception.
Because a kid, like it's always said that a kid will change your life for the positive.
But we're talking through
Yeah.
pregnancy. We're not talking birth. We're done with conception.
That's when a woman has to be the strongest because she's carrying It's a piece of her.
Okay, but why is she the strongest? What is the masculine aspect
The
of
caregiver.
pregnancy?
Protection and providing for the kid.
Okay, providing how?
Nurturing, you're feeding the baby each day.
We're going, second
Oh,
chakra,
right.
destruction and creation.
Creation, yeah, she's creating.
Where is the masculine? In the destruction or the creation? In the destruction. And the feminine is the creation. Where is the woman destroying?
The body.
Her body. Her body to create a new body. So issues in pregnancy, protection needs, sexual issues, financial masculine are second chakra issues. And 100% of the United States of America has second chakra issues. If nothing else, start with the second chakra. If nothing else, and my darling colleague here that is wearing orange, come in. Today, she walks into the office this morning, and I said to her, "You look amazing." And these words I said to her. I said, "You are second chakra dressed orange." I said, "Go and conquer some man today." That's what I said to her this morning, because her second chakra is like lit the hell up today. Today is her day. Cha-ching! Make money, get a man, do something. She needs to create something today. So one of the ways, James, who loves to give positive tools to clients, color therapy relates to the chakras. So if someone is too Aries, are you going to give them red? Hell no. But if someone wants to conquer, you give them orange. So color therapy is used because of the chakras. Medical doctor, do you know why this is the symbol of medicine?
The scallop, yes. For the snake, you say?
The caduceus.
The caduceus, yes.
You know the whole background? Okay, because I started with that. Because most doctors don't.
Okay.
Okay, so I'm breaking it down for them, why this is the medical system. We haven't talked about the snakes yet, we're just going through the chakras. But that's going to be the nadis, and I already told them about the wings of Mercury.
Okay. But
Okay.
also the snake in the ancient, they use the snake as the healing
Yes.
properties.
Healing property, and actually the poison
The poison.
was homeopathic for
Yeah.
healing.
Yeah.
But do you guys, are you familiar with the symbol of Orubos? I know I spelled it wrong. Anyway, it's a serpent eating its own tail. Because it's the full circle
Yeah.
of healing, of holistic. Okay, this is a symbol from mythology. And there's actually an alcohol, Miss Bartender. There's an alcohol called Orubos, so find that to see what that is.
I'm prepared. And we taste this.
Okay, so I was telling them, but I am going to explain why the serpents are on this line is your spine. Okay, but the serpents and where they cross is where each chakra is, and it happens to correlate with the glands in the body. Can you please tell us the glands of the second chakra? Our sex glands, right?
Reproductive.
And third?
Third is going to be, we are going to have the pancreas.
Listen.
After up, we are going to have, above the heart, we are going to have the thymus.
The
And
thymus,
after you have the thyroid.
thyroid,
And you are going to have two more important there that are going to be hypophysis and pineal
the
gland.
pineal gland. When you
Third
meditate
eye.
as
Yes.
Buddha, you're supposed to put the tongue
Yeah.
on the top because you're supposed to sit in a
Center.
straight line, and every single mythological from the Hindu tradition, you will see them all sitting like this. Triangle, here's your pyramid, because I can't do it because I'm in a dress, but when you sit in that position, lotus, you are supposed to be directly in connection, your spine straight, heaven and earth, present moment. The only way that Mercury, the mind, to calm down. That's the purpose of the meditation. So where these intersect, like she said, all of those glands, if someone tells you they have issues, pancreas and diabetic endocrine stuff,
Yes.
you know that you're dealing with third chakra stuff.
Yes.
Thymus. We've talked about the thyroid. So you're going to start seeing the correlation with mind, body, spirit, and why the body is going to tell you the psyche of that client when they come with a broken heart and they get diagnosed with whatever. Or the color that they come in with. There's a message. There's a reason you are dressed head to toe in hot, beautiful, sexy, gorgeous pink. That we know subconsciously when we pick our clothes. There's a reason for it. We're trying to perhaps give oomph, to, like Katrina with his red sneakers, to that chakra, which he doesn't need any more oomph, to that first chakra. We could talk to the client just by having them sit down, blue, and say, oh, do you have an issue with time management, my friend? A little bit?
What about black? Are you dead inside?
No, you're not dead. No, but there is something you don't want to be seen, perhaps, or perhaps you're not living, or you don't think life is valuable. There are some of that in color therapy kind of stuff. But he has an issue with time management. He is wearing blue, fifth chakra. We've talked about thyroid. You don't have thyroid issues, do you? Not yet? Okay, not yet. So, when someone comes simply by the color, if it's exaggerated or if it's diminished, we can ask the questions. Remember, you're just asking questions. You don't know, but you ask the questions. Yesterday I did this awesome activity. I put the video up. It's a short video, but it was very fun. With Jonathan, you guys all have him for American Lit, I think, and with Ms. Rapace, and it was super fun, and we used these cubes, and we're going to do that with you guys. It's just, we're probably not going to have time today. And I had them make up stories, and it was on point. It was on point. They each made up, I think, 2 stories, and I broke it down to them by their sign, by their subconscious, by their judgments and value statements that they got as children. You can't make this shit up. So you're not accidentally wearing a color. Woo! I'm on her team, I'm rooting! I'm her biggest fan!
Party.
Yep! We want to have a second chakra party! Okay, so that's the first I said, your second chakra is on today. I said, go pick up a guy. Like, those were my words when I saw it this morning. So when we speak in terms of chakra, we're already seeing kind of what's going on with the client. So we have a lot of indicators. We are not, I know a lot of you are like, what the fuck, how do I even start? Because we've done some mock and you're like, what do I don't know. I know, I see the terror on your face. Like, how the fuck am I going to figure out a question to ask my client? This one's going to break down in tears.
Yeah.
You're going to be like, hold on, Dr. Hill, what do I ask?
Like the day she did it with Daniela, and you were like, just ask, and she was like, I didn't want to offend her.
Which I told her was her own value. It's your own value, like your judgment earlier about the dishwasher. And we all have them. And we have to know our values. We need to know our judgments. If not, we don't know our shit. We stay in the false self, and we never know our true self. And I'm on this kick now of warrior, career went to worthless. That's my new thing. I have cancer, I'm fucking wanting to be there. So don't change my mind as a client, just say, oh, it sucks. Because sometimes that's all you say. Remember, you don't work harder than your client. If one more person says to me, you're gonna be okay, and I'm gonna fucking pray for you, I swear to you, I'm like, don't fucking pray for me. I don't wanna be prayed for right now. Let me wallow in my broken fucking heart, will you?
My mom, because I told her, my mom was like, oh, do you think we can go pray on her? So I was like, Mom, just go pray for her at church.
Oh my God, one of my lovely clients, I love her so much. She goes, I'm gonna send you this prayer, this mantra. And I texted her back, I said, don't. I said, please don't. I said, if you wanna read it for me in my name, great. I don't wanna know about it. Thank you. Because right now, I am being a fucking Pisces and being victim, and I feel like it. Because the last time I had cancer, oh, not me, I don't have to do shit. I'm gonna save the world. So, give me a few days to just be pissed and heartbroken and sad. I'll get over it, I'm sure. So, you meet your client where they are. That's okay. They're allowed. So if nothing else, Jennifer, just say what fucking sucks in your life so I can tell you, oh man, that sucks. If nothing else,
Makes sense.
you're gonna be okay because I'm giving you all this stuff. So this is one of the tools. So if you see a color, you could start with that. What Bala asked about the black. Remember last week or 2 weeks ago I told you when we develop cancers or tumors or growths in the body, it's because we feel detached from something and we want to create more of something. So I said I wanted to create more breast. I needed a tumor, I needed more breast because I needed to feed my kids more because I got divorced very, very young and they were little and I missed them, right? So the minute I got my first time cancer, that was the first thing I said to my husband. I'm like, oh, this is because of my kids. This is my custody stuff. This time around, there's other reasons. But that's also when someone comes exaggerated in their actions, in their voice. I've told you I was never heard. So of course I'm, oh, you have to know I'm in the room, in the building. You know, I have a need, an unmet need. Validation. My Mercury is on top of my sun. Like, I mean, it speaks to me, it makes sense. So when someone is exaggerated in perhaps a color or in something in them, you can correlate it to a chakra that there's an unmet need there. So perhaps, I'm just picking on you just because you're beautiful. Today, maybe you have a need for a little extra love. You need to really be seen. Maybe, I don't know, maybe your son didn't say he loved you this morning and you were sad. I don't know, I'm making shit up.
No, he starts school tomorrow for the first time, so I'm just gonna drop him off and leave. Like, bye.
Okay. So we have reasons, subconscious reasons, unmet needs, why we pick what we wear, how we behave. Everything is a message. And you will know. Because something will just be like, this seems out of place. Or this seems exaggerated. Or this seems underestimated. Who was it? We did a class. Natalie. Oh yeah, that's an accident. Oh yeah, it was a new car. Minimize, remember? Minimized. That is 0. Exaggeration is 100. There's an imbalance. And if you can locate it with the chakra, you could start with your needs. You could start with the question. Blue fits chakra. I know it's time because of thyroid, time management. Do you see? You get it? They're puzzle pieces. And you're just in here and you're going to have to put them on. Okay? So second chakra has to do with destruction and creation. So, I told you this about the Hindu mythology. astrology the other day? What did I tell you about the Hindu mythology and that every god in the Hindu pantheon has a what?